Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the video. Today we're going to get started on Bobby Vala's Action Force. Today we're going to talk about the Joe Fest exclusive Eclipse. Now, I have not reviewed the normal Eclipse just yet. That is because this one is my main focus. Once I saw this, I was obsessed with it, partly because after watching the movie Prey, I really wanted to do some sort of battle of her versus Predator, and reviewing this is my way of having an excuse to take a ton of photos about it. But I absolutely love the look of this. The war face paint, the sleeve tattoos, the armor design, and the colorway. I really enjoy it. This is her stepping out away from the Steel Brigade and into, like, from out of the frying pan into the fryer, and I love the idea of that. Now, I have not taken off her armor yet. That's because I am terrible with tabbing. But during the video, I will take it off so I can show off if there is more tattoo, because it does look like there is more tattoo underneath on the neck, and I want to make sure I show that off because this sleeve is really dope. And I like that the design was intricate enough, but it was easy enough to put on the arm, so that way not only does there's nothing in the way, it does work with the folding of the arm in a double joint. I really like the idea of that. Now, I really like this plain and simple way. Also, if you're wondering, the joint system is a little better than what was released in the previous girls. I know they had some tight joints. This one does not have that issue. But, oh yeah, I do love that face paint though. Yeah. And as you can see, poses really well. A little bit on the shiny side, so I am going to matte it down after. But overall, I really enjoyed the idea of it. Especially the red dripping from the nose. Especially with the all black paint. Let's get a closer look at that. As you can see here, there is a really nice paint job here. Kind of makes it look really good. Now, as far as our articulation goes, let's try to hit the T-pose like we always do. As you can see, we do have some stellar and tight joints. Ooh, let's fix that focus. Again, sorry about that. Not sure why it's doing it anymore. I thought with a new lens it would not be an issue, but it may be a body issue. So as you can see, we have a beautiful T-pose. We have seamless and pinless joints. You saw the fold in the arms. It's utterly beautiful. It looks really good. There are no butterfly joints on the female characters, right? We have our drop down, which you see here. We have our drop down leg method. There we go. We have our drop down leg, which allows you to get a little bit higher than 90 degrees with our leg holster, but with the leg without the leg holster can reach a tad bit higher, right? We do have a double joint. Mine's are very tight, but they still do fold, as you can see here. But these joints are a little bit stronger, but they do hold pretty well, right? We do have a boot swivel as well. We have super generous ankle articulation, pivot and swing and hinge, all of those good words that people like to use, right? Now, as far as our vest, our articulation in this area is going to be hindered as long as we have our vest on. So let's try to remove it. Everyone knows I'm terrible with tabs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove it on video and not put it back on until after the video is done, because I don't want to sit here and struggle on camera with you guys, right? Just pop our head off. And then we are going to remove this. So that way we can talk about the rest of our movement and articulation, right? Gotta rotate this arm around. There we go. Now, as you can see here, we actually do have beautiful articulation, right? And we can see the rest of her sleeve tattoo that goes up the arm and across this part of the chest. So now we have that extra movement, right? Now, this actually makes me feel really good, and you can actually probably get a Lara Croft Tomb Raider vibe out of this now, as well as a Prey vibe. So there's a lot of good things about this, and I love the idea of it. The fact that it was exclusive, I did not expect or wanted. It makes me happy that I got it. I ain't gonna lie. So you can see here, you actually get a lot of swivel here in the torso, more so at the top. Our head and neck can go down. It does not have a rotating ball joint, but it's enough that you do get beautiful movement. Yeah. Hopefully it didn't sound like I struggled. I'm just out of breath because I'm tired. I'm tired because I'm sick. So I'm in recovery. But yeah, this looks really solid. Now, We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to have a little bit of water, and then we're going to talk about our accessories for Eclipse. Alright, so I left her the same, so we're going to actually take a seat back. There we go. Balance, girl, balance. So, real quick, I want to talk about the vest. Now, the really cool thing about this that I didn't expect, off camera I was testing it, and it seems that he has changed the tabs. As you can see, I was able to put that back in with no problem. So I feel better about myself. I really do. I feel better about adding tabs again to my things of list of things that I can do again. So I was terrible at tabbing. So now we're going to try this on camera. So I am not ashamed and scared anymore. And it looks like we can tab in. So it actually goes back on with little to no issue. It was something I was actually worried about. I was genuinely worried about it because I actually have terrible luck with tabbing things back in. We have her strong legs here. I want to make sure I put that back on. Then we're going to back her up. Because as you can see with that vest on, you actually get 2 extra magazines. So I'm going to leave that there, right? Next up, you will see that she does get a scarf. And as soon as it focuses on that, not the body behind it, here we are with her scarf. We can actually just place that on, right? And it looks really good because the normal one actually gets that other scarf. And again, not sure why it's not focusing. Such a weird time for me. So, with our normal sculpt that you see here, on top of that, we do get an alternative yelling sculpt. I really like this sculpt. Puts the fear in your heart. And it does pop on just like the other sculpts. And it looks really solid. Now, when you don't want to do this or have this look, you can actually use this for a mass sculpt as well. Because even though you see the tattoo on her arm, that doesn't mean you necessarily need to see her face. Again, not sure why it is not doing a simple autofocus. So odd. Now, I apologize. But as you can see here, we have our mask sculpt with eyes to take you out with. And it does match this. So the war paint and the masking of the face do match up. And that's pretty cool. Again, even though you see a tattoo, that doesn't mean you can identify by seeing the face. You will also get a handgun. Ooh, I actually really like this handgun too. Because this one has a silver tip. I really like the way this one looks. It does work with Valaverse effect parts. I will show off later. You can actually holster it on her right hand side. Little to no issue. Right? Oop. Don't fall, girl. Me and my uneven desk, we don't have a lot of, we can't, there we go. So, next up, you will also get a sickle. Shorthand's version of a sickle. This is really nice. You'll get 3 extra magazines, which are hard for me to grasp at this point in time. And that's because you will get this weapon to spy with. I am unsure what this is. I am not sure if it is an AR or an M14. Very unsure. But I do like the colorway for it that matches this version of Eclipse with our magazine being removable. And we still have a slot for effect parts as well. Then you will get a shorthand curved knife. It even has a serrated part here on the front side of our blade. So we'll let an inverse too. This can be stored right behind her, as you can see here. Next up, you'll get a set of universal Valaverse hands that come with every character, which I very much enjoy that is a thing. Here you will have your 2-handed item holding hands when you hold your assault rifle. Here we are with trigger hands. These are on vertical pegs to help you with your posing of your guns. Very important. And then you have your item holding hands, whether it's normal items or swords or knives. Here it is. Even grenades. And like I said, what we're going to do next is we're going to talk about the regular Eclipse with the JoFest version that is exclusive. And then we'll do a size comparison with some other stuff. So I'll see you guys in a sec. Alright, I'm going to jump into the size comparisons. Riley didn't want to move, so I let him stay where he was. I'll zoom out just a little bit so you guys can have a little bit of fun with him in the background. So, let's get started. First off, I want to compare her to her normal version so we can see our face paint differences, get a nice look at it, and it does look really, really good. I know she seems a little taller, and that is because I have the legs spread a little bit further, as well as my uneven table. But I do like these two together, and if you want to swap around parts to get a little bit of color separation, I think it's totally fine. You should probably go for it. When you compare it to other Valaverse figures, here we are with a normal soldier. As you can see, we're out here looking really, really good so far. I think it balances out pretty well what we have going on. Next up, we're going to compare it to a couple of Joes. One of them is going to be Kamakura, and the other one is going to be Bazooka. I chose those two for different heights, so that way you can kind of see what you got going on. Here we are with Kamakura. Next up is going to be Bazooka. If I can find out where Riley knocked them off to. Here we are. So here we are with Bazooka. As you can see, Bazooka is much larger. Kamakura is a little bit smaller, but it does work out overall pretty well. Next up, if you want to see another type of Joe, here we are with Torpedo. Just in case you want to see, Torpedo is only a tad bit taller than Eclipse. Next up, we're going to do a Mezco Ichigo. So then we'll have both Ichigo and Riley in the picture. Here we are. Alright, so here's a Mezco Ichigo to show off that size. Right. There's Riley just looking over at it. Next up, here we are with a Mythic Legion. Showing you how big boy. And you doing some aggressive cleaning back there, bro. Really. Now, next up is the most important two for me, because this is why I wanted to put them in the video, because I want to do photos with them. Here we are with a NECA Predator, showing you just how gigantic this guy is. And then we did a Mezco one, so we can see the different sizes that we'll get with these guys. So I think that both of them actually work really well here, depending on what you are aiming for. It's actually a really good look here. So this is actually a Scout. This is the Jungle Hunter. Either way, I like either option. It looks really, really good. And just for bonus, we're gonna throw my boy in here, Kamen Rider 1, so we can see what we got going on. As you can see, Kamen Rider is not that much smaller, but still smaller than that of Valaverse. Yes, look right into the camera and sniff the back of her head, you jerk. So yeah, he got up here, and he didn't want to move, so I let him stay. Last but not least, here she is next to Marvel Legends Fang, and I have to move for Riley's paw. But I will say this, though. He does help keep things in focus, so I appreciate you earning your wages here. Up to Marvel Legends Fang, it looks pretty decent. So, with all of that being said, I want to say thank you guys for watching the video, attending, hanging out. It's one of those things where I really enjoy you guys sticking around. And I know you guys want to see more of Riley, so I appreciate you guys, him making appearances, just overall in general. So, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for enjoying. Please enjoy the photos at the end. And as always, please be good, do good, and drink your water, guys. Later.